this is the tech trouble ruse. So many people, and very recently, this is exactly what happened to my father-in-law. And I have been spending time looking on different social media platforms like LinkedIn, like Facebook, X, now formerly Twitter, and seeing the amount of people that fall for this scam in the thousands. And this is an incredibly crafted, essentially phishing scheme that has just been taking social media over. And so what this involves is unsolicited communication where the scammer is posing as some variation of tech support from the reputable company like Facebook, like Twitter, like, LinkedIn, like whatever. And what their claim is you've violated their terms of service, you violated some public, decency thing, you violated the rules of a group, whatever it is, you did something wrong, and now they're reaching out to you to say, hey, you did this bad thing, and we're going to delete your device, delete your page, we're going to delete your profile, we're going to remove your ability to use your device. You've got some kind of compromised software on your thing or whatever, and we've got to be able to fix it. And what we're going to need from you is personal information to verify you are who you say you are. Although we reached out to you telling you who we know who you are. And now we want your
Right.
personal information, like your password. We want remote access to your device. We want something that, wait a minute, why do you need access to that? You know who I am, and you said I violated. So they're going to ask for something that is personal and they should have. And then when you provide this information to them, this is where they either install malicious software, they hijack your Facebook account, they'll access sensitive information about you, a number of different things. And so basically this is the thing I have been observing happen on social media, specifically happening on Facebook. And the really, really sad part, we have some examples, and as like this example, the chat kind of initiated from what looks like the Meta logo. It looks like it's got the infinity kind of loop, and it says, page notice. Hello, we'd like to inform you that your page is about to be temporarily locked due to a violation of our community standards related to images and videos. Please get in touch with us to resolve this issue. Please contact the support team here. And conveniently, they provide a link for me to click, which will take me to their support team. And if I'm reading the link here, and I look at it, and it says,
It's so
it says
sketchy.
business meta fb.duckdns.org /.com ? It's got the PHP query in there that takes me to their PHP page. And sincerely, Meta support at 2023, automatic notification, please contact now. And so it's a crafted phishing attempt, a scam attempt, where I now have to click their support link and go. And if I'm not paying attention, all I do is look at the first part that says business Meta Facebook. And if I'm not reading the entire string, I could actually fall for this. And so, because I see the logo, I see, oh, this is Meta. What does Meta want? And, oh, that's interesting. Wait, what? My page? Well, fortunately for me, I know something way more about my company than they do. And so falling for scams like this, for maybe my company isn't as likely. Now, I'm not saying I'm foolproof, because maybe they get super smart and they figure out some things about my company, and then maybe this becomes possible. But this was directly targeted at ArkCybr, saying, oh, we have violated this and that. And so I was like, I know something you don't know, dummy. And I can tell immediately that you're a scam. And so,
well, and the logo, even, it's upside down.
yeah.
Anyways, whatever. There's there's a lot of things about this that scream like, no.
Yeah. So then the next image that we received was in response to our posting of their scam attempt all over social media. So what we did was proactively, we took screenshots of their attempt and we pasted it into all the platforms, saying, hey, if you get this message in your messenger, this is a scammer. All of these variations are scammers. Do not interact with them. They're successfully manipulating thousands of accounts, if not daily, weekly, for sure. And so then what happens is when you post something like my account was hacked, or you put the words hacked, or put any of these associated words, there's a million bots that start to then
Yes.
respond to these pages. And so one of these examples is from a person, air quotes because this isn't a person, Christian Dawson, an
Right.
analyst at Apple. That's their title. It's always some kind of abstract, non-position. And if you just spend time looking at their
Right.
profile, you'll see that these profiles have no content. They don't ever post. And the things that they post
Right.
are consistently the same thing because it's a robot. It's not a real person.
Yes.
And so this one says, my
Right.
ACC shorthanding account was retrieved by on at cyber underscore blah, blah, blah via Instagram. Immediately when I chat him up, God, exclamation point, he's good and also trusted. I'm sure he'll fix yours, heart, heart, or 100%, 100%. And so these bots, the message is always the same. The message, I'm sorry, the message
Yep.
varies, but the action they want you to take is always the same. Go visit this other
Chat them up.
place on
Yep.
Instagram. Go to
Yes.
Instagram and chat with this person, or
Or
Twitter.
Twitter,
They
or
want to get
yeah.
you off
Like,
their
because
platform.
this actually happened to me. I was complaining about my cell phone service because I couldn't get through
Yeah,
to them, and so I was complaining about it on Twitter, X, whatever it
yeah,
was before it was X, and literally I can't tell you the amount of times I got
yeah.
this message when I was trying to like do
Go
stuff. So,
go talk to
anyways,
so and
yes,
so
I was like, no, thank you,
on a
and I
different
blocked
platform.
them.
Yeah. So that's what they'll do. These bots are
Yeah.
programmed to look for these keywords and then respond with this other scammers page. And so then,
Yep.
looking at the Instagram message, another very similar attack. Instead of it saying page notice, this one says community standards. Hello, ArkCybr. Your business page has been disabled. We are
Right.
constantly updating our meta privacy policy and terms of service, blah, blah, blah. So we've suspended your page. So now you got to go to this place here, view the details. And if you look at it, they actually post a real article talking about the terms. So if you click on it, it takes you to the Facebook article page. So then their goal isn't to get you
Oh.
to click a link to go put your creds in. Their goal is to get you to talk with them because look, they gave you a click, a real link, and
Oh.
now you're talking with them, and now the next part comes. Yeah.
That's
So they give
sneaky.
you something that looks good, looks legit. Oh my gosh, here's where the policy is. Well, let me come back and talk. What policies did I violate? And oh man, and how can my page is disabled? Although I'm looking at it, it looks like my page is fine. What's going? So I didn't fall for this either. But and before this one has a little orange triangle in it. This is because we reported it to Meta and said this is a scammer.
Mm,
These guys are running rampant
yep.
through your ecosystem, and here's yet another one that is posing as your support organization, and they're and just in the back of my mind I had a question. What would be a great way to get me and everybody else on Meta, on X, on every platform to sign up for the little blue check mark that they now charge $11 a month for? Would it be to allow scammers to hijack accounts, take over their accounts? Because if you're not Meta verified, all they got to do is create a clone of you. And they allow these thousands, sometimes hundreds. I have a client who has had their accounts compromised, and their account themselves, their personal accounts, were not Meta verified. And when you type in their name and you look for them, there's literally like 30 of them. So you're like, well, which one are you? Who is the real you?
Mm,
And so all it takes is one of those scammers to reach out to the followers of these pages and say, yo, this is really me, and blah, 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 blah. And so
right.
I had went and gotten Meta verified a while ago. And as I'm looking, and this doing things like this gives a public profile, public presence. So if you're not
Yeah.
talking to the real me with the Meta verification next to it, be aware that's a fake, that's a scam, because I'm not going to create another account that isn't Meta verified or X verified or whatever. I'm not going to
Right.
be doing those things. Scammers will. And so most of these, if you look at the actual Meta support, guess what they have right next to it? The blue Meta check mark, verified. They're verified, and you can interact with the check mark. It's not just a little snapshot of a picture showing it. And so anyway, we report them as quickly as we find them, and try to take through the process of reporting these scammer accounts, but then Meta is like, oh, or X or whoever it is, they're like, yeah, we take these things very seriously. And then they do look into them. And then every once in a while, I'll get an email back saying, hey, your report helped us remove this account. So once I did get an email back that said, we don't see anything wrong with this account. Like, I literally gave you all the evidence to show, here's the real account, here's the fake account, and you guys
Wow.
don't see any evidence.
Wow.
Are you just trying to ramp up your Meta subscriptions by keeping these bogus accounts out
Right.
there? So there's another scam that necessarily isn't social media. It's just a website scam.
Yeah.
And so a tech support scam. And so sometimes what happens is people go on these websites that have been compromised by malware, they've been compromised by a cross-site scripting attack, or some other type of compromise to this potentially legitimate website. And what happens is it pops up, you get a pop-up that says, hey, we've detected threats on your computer, although they haven't run a virus scan or anything like that. But we
Right.
detected a threat. Maybe you have a session cookie or something, your browser's hijacked. None of it is legit. But what happens is it'll show up within your browser. You'll see a blue screen inside the browser, but it's not actually the blue screen of death that you would see on the desktop, and your computer is completely frozen. But you'll see this kind of back hidden blue screen that's like, oh, everybody knows the blue screen. But if the blue screen's launched in your
Yeah.
browser, it's not the actual blue screen that's causing a crash in your PC. And so it'll be accompanied with some kind of trusted antivirus. You got to download our software so that we can help you. Call this toll-free number. Look at us. We provide a customer service number for you to call. Aren't we great? So then you call this toll-free number. They urge you, you got to call immediately. We're going to get you unstuck. You have some kind of virus. And if you don't hurry up and act right now, oh my gosh, you're going to fall for ransomware. You're going to be encrypted, blah, blah, blah. Right. Well, if you watched our episode previous where we detonated ransomware, you see what ransomware does to your computer, and it doesn't look like this part of it. They're not going to want you to call them because you've got a way to trace and find who they actually are. So you call this toll-free number. They tell you to focus on what they're saying. They want you to listen and do all the things because we're going to help you. We're going to pretend to run some diagnostic test. You got to just give us access. And they're oh, yep, here we go. We found the vulnerability. We were able to isolate it. We're able to get it because our stuff is so great, and we're super super awesome. And now we're going to repair your computer. We're going to fix this for you. Oh, but you got to pay us because now that we found it, we've done all this. Now we can fix the problem, but we're not going to do it for free. You got to fix it. So, and then here, we'll take payment in Target gift cards. I don't know why they use Target gift cards. If you've ever gone to a site that had this kind of pop-up thing happen, typically you've seen this kind of thing. And so what you can do is report this to the FTC. There's actually a website you can go to. You can report them to the FBI. You can report them to, I think that's the IEEE. There's a way to report these scam sites and get them on the blacklist so that people, regular people just don't stumble across these things. The IPs then get blacklisted because they're known scam or fraud sites. And so the amount of traffic that can actually make it to them is significantly reduced by doing that stuff. Keep your security software up to date. If you have some kind of antivirus or antivirus is the minimum, minimum thing, because there's so much more than viruses, right? There's the ransomwares, there's all the different types of malware that are out there. There's firewall solutions that are out there. If you don't have a firewall in front of your router, if you're just kind of relying on the main router itself, you may want to talk to somebody about how can I get, a consumer grade firewall put in front of my technology to help slow these things down, get that layered approach to your security at home. And then you can always reach out to us, contact Best Buy, go to anyone, somebody that's an expert that can help maybe recover and do all these things. But really, you've got initiated contact by the scammers with their fake tech support thing. Break contact with the communication. Don't keep going. No. Best Buy, if you've never seen the Best Buy Geek Squad reach out to you and tell you, hey, your stuff is compromised, right? They're a legitimate business. How many times have they ever reached out to you? Now I say this, and this may have just given birth to the Best Buy Geek Squad scam. So I apologize if that put that into the idea of the scammers' minds. But that doesn't happen. Best Buy doesn't reach out to people.
Right.
All these legitimate
Yeah.
agencies don't reach out to people and say, "Oh, we've noticed this." Right? If anything, what happens is you'll get a Windows Defender pop up. You'll get, if you're using Sophos, if you're using any of the major holistic protection McAfee's, all those Nortons, that is where you'll get the alert. It will be from that application that's installed on your device itself. It's not going to be from your browser, and it's definitely not going to ask you to call a toll-free number and pay them.